Okay, hey guys. This video is going to be an instruction video on how to run a Minecraft server from a Mac, just a normal Mac OS X and a Mac Snow Leopard. So I'm doing it on my MacBook Pro, and you can do it on any Mac OS X. And we're going to run a server of it so you can play Minecraft Alpha with your mates. And you can host a server and have all the OP controls and get into all that stuff. So, just some straight things from the start. Running a server isn't terribly hard, but then again, it's not terribly easy either. There is a little bit of terminal coding, but all that information is going to be in the doobly-doo behind the bottom of this video. So it shouldn't be too hard if you just follow this slowly and carefully and pause when you need to and replay parts that you need to. And yeah, if you just follow what I do, then we should get through it pretty well, and hopefully you'll have a server working great. Sorry, just let me... Okay, so first thing we're going to do is go ahead and we're going to go to minecraft.net. Okay, and yeah, so I'm guessing you guys already know about the game, so I'm not going to talk to you about that at the moment. What I want you to do is we're going to go to the download page. Now, we're going to go ahead and click on download, which is right here, and it's going to take us to this page right here. And what we're looking for is right down at the bottom of the page, we have multiplayer alpha server software. And because we're doing this on Mac OS X, we don't use this link here. We're not going to use that one. We're going to use this one down here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and download that. So just click on that, and it's going to save it to downloads. Okay, great. Now, once we've done that, the next step is to go ahead and close Safari and make a new folder on your desktop. Now, this part, guys, is important to follow what I'm doing because we are going to need to know what you're doing. So please put a folder on your desktop so that later on it's easier for you to understand. Okay, so we're going to make a new folder and we're going to call it mine server. Okay, just mine server. Pretty simple. And I want you to take that JAR file that we just downloaded and go ahead and drop it in there. Okay? That is where the server is going to be holding all its information. So everything about the server is going to end up in this folder. Okay, that's the easy part done. The next part is a little bit more complicated, and the reason that it's a little bit more complicated is that we're going to do something called port forwarding. So the thing about port forwarding is that it's a little bit different depending on what router you have. And I'm got a billion BiPAC 5200, and that's the one you got to see. But it's going to be a little bit different from you. But if you don't really understand this kind of stuff, you probably shouldn't be running your own server. So anyway, let's go ahead and go to your router address. Now, the router address is in your router book. My one is 192.168.1.254. That's the default address for my router. It's going to ask me for a password and a name. It'll do the same to you. Default is admin normally, or user, something like that, but it'll say what it is inside of your router or modem book. My words have escaped me. So we're going to go ahead and log into that. Now, just while we have this open, actually, we have to do one more thing, and that is acquire a static IP, a static local IP for your your laptop. Now, this step, I'm not, I'm kind of, I question its importance. If you don't do this, every time your laptop disconnects from your router and then reconnects again, or every time your computer rather connects and disconnects, you're gonna have to port forward again. So it is a little bit more work. That's if you want to have to port forward again to run the router, to run the Minecraft server. But it can be done without it. Without it, what you would do is you'd go ahead and you'd open up your terminal, which is that little application there. I'm just going through Finder, and you'd use the command which is called ipconfig, okay, and that would give you this little piece of information here. It says 192.168.1-10. Now that is the local IP address of my computer right now. Your one will be something different. It'll probably say 192.168.1 dash another number. It may not be 10, it might be 100, it might be 1, it might be 2. It could be anything, but generally that's what it's going to look like. And that's what you'll need to use when port forwarding, which I'll talk about in a second. Now, say we don't want to have to port forward every time we do it because it's a little bit of a tedious procedure. I don't find it that hard, but some people might. I explain what we do to have ourselves a static local IP. System preferences. So that can be accessed through the Apple button and then down to system preferences. We're going to go ahead to network, and we're going to choose whatever thing that we're connecting to the internet from. I'm using my AirPod. I'm on the wireless connection, so that's selected there. I'm not on Ethernet. That's not connected. Airport, and we're going to go ahead and click on Advanced. Okay. Once you get to this screen, it should look very similar to this. We're going to go ahead and go to TCP-IP. And your one will be set here. It'll say configure IPv4. Probably it'll say using DHCP. We're going to go ahead and change that to manual. Okay. Now, what are we going to do? What we're going to do is we're going to put in that router address that we talked about before. I said my one was 192.168.1.254 in the router field right here. Okay? Next thing you do is what you want your static IP address to be. I chose 192.168.1.10. You can choose, I would say you choose the same. And then you've got to put in your subnet mask. If you haven't changed it, it's going to be this. It's going to be 255.255.255.0. That's what it's going to be. Now, the next thing that you want to do is put in your DSN servers, okay? Which are this stuff here. Now, your one will be different. The best way to figure out what your DNS servers are is call up your ISP and say, blokes, I want to know what my DSN servers are. Can you tell them to me? And they'll send you these two numbers. I might blur this out. You probably can't see my numbers right now, but because they're private. And yeah, you'll get some numbers, and you'll just click this star plus button down here, and you'll write in your first number, whatever it is, and then write in your second number, and that's it. You click OK, and you'll click apply, and that's it. Now,